Your baby does something weird. Your heart drops. But you don't know what's wrong, so suddenly you panicking and Googling symptoms at 3 in the morning. Sound familiar? Yeah, it happened to me too. So, in this video, what I'm about to do is break down 10 things that happen to babies that scare the shit out of new dads and explaining what they actually mean, plus what's normal, what's not, and when to call the pediatrician. If you are a father trying to learn this craziness of being a dad without losing your mind, please subscribe. All right? Because this channel is for dads who care enough to figure it out. All right, so let's get into it. Number one, colic. Okay. Colic is one of the first things that makes a lot of dads feel helpless, right? Your baby is fed, changed, clean, warm, and still crying like something is seriously wrong, right? And there's no obvious reason you can fix, right? That's the part that messes with you. Colic, colic ain't about you doing something wrong, right? It's about a nervous system that's still learning how to regulate itself, right? That 3 hours a day, 3 days a week for 3 weeks rule isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to normalize what feels abnormal. Colicky crying often peaks in the evening because babies are overstimulated and overtired. You know, it's by that time. They've taken in a full day of light and sound and touch and new sensations, and their system just dumps it all out through crying. All right. What helps isn't one magic trick, it's containment and support. Holding, walking, bouncing, white noise, car rides, stroller walks, switching back and forth with your partner, right? Sometimes the real help is simply knowing that this phase has an end. All right. Most colic improves significantly by 3, 4 months, right? Even if it feels endless when you're in it. One important mindset shift, right? Your job during colic is not to stop the crying at all costs. It's to stay calm, keep your baby safe, and get through the wave. All right. It happens. Number two, reflux, right? Spit up and GERD or GERD, right? Spit up looks dramatic, especially the first few times. Milk is everywhere. Your shirt is soaked, right? Baby looks unbothered. You convinced something is wrong. My baby done threw up. This is crazy. For many babies, though, reflux happens because the muscle that keeps stomach contents down just isn't mature yet, right? So milk comes back up easily, especially if he or she is drinking a lot. If your baby is gaining weight though, if it's feeding well, it's not acting like they're in pain, this is often happy spitting, right? Messy, but not dangerous. Okay. Where dads need clarity is on red flags. All right. Poor weight gain, clear discomfort during feeds, constant back arching, forceful vomiting, and vomit that's green, bloody, or projectile, right? That's when you don't wait it out. That's when you call the pediatrician. All right. Day to day, small changes make a big difference. Burping more often, keeping the baby upright after feeds, trying not to overfeed, spacing spacing feeds out differently. Try that. If reflux seems painful, a pediatrician can help you decide next steps. Um, the key is knowing the difference between gross but normal and needs attention. All right. Number three, the moral reflex or the startle reflex. um, the moral reflex is one of those things that look scary until you understand it, right? Your baby, your baby suddenly flings their arms out, their hands open wide, right? Their face changes, and sometimes they cry like they just fell in a dream, right? You'll be like, "What you dreaming about?" Right? That's not anxiety. It's not trauma. It's not fear. It's a built-in reflex left over from early development. Um, it's often triggered by loud sounds, sudden movements or that moment when you're, lowering them into the crib and their body feels like it's falling, right? Sometimes just removing your hand from your baby, from my baby, causes reflex, right? This phase on its own over time, over the first few months, right? What helps is reducing that falling sensation. Um, Swaddling helps slow transitions, keeping one hand on their chest or supporting the head and the shoulders when laying them down, right? That's not spoiling them, y'all. You're helping their nervous system feel contained, right? Number four, gas and stomach discomfort, right? Newborn digestion is loud, it's awkward, it's inefficient. Babies grunt, strain, turn red, kick their legs, pass gas like little grown men and women, right? Especially at night. This happens because their digestive system is immature. Uh, they're learning how to coordinate muscles to poop and to pass gas while laying on their backs, right? It looks uncomfortable, but often it's normal, right? What matters is the big picture, okay? Is your baby feeding, peeing, pooping? Is it alert when awake, right? If yes, a lot of the noise is just part of development, all right? Things you can do include burping more thoroughly, bicycling the legs, right? Tummy time when they're awake, and gentle belly massages. That works too. If stools become like very hard or bloody or crying is extreme and constant, that's when you need to check in with the doctor. All right. Number five, normal poop weirdness, right? Nobody prepares dads for how much mental energy gets spent on doo doo, right? Colors vary, textures vary, frequency varies. Breastfed babies, especially, can poop often or rarely, right? And both can be normal as long as stools are soft and the baby is growing. Like, what the? What am I supposed to do with that? The key is knowing what's not normal, right? Red blood, obviously, chalky white stools, black stools after the newborn period, right? Very hard pellet like stools or sudden drastic changes paired with like illness, right? Those are reasons to call the pediatrician. Otherwise, um, weird poop is just part of the job. It's not glamorous, but it's information, right? Number six, newborn breathing and noises. All right. Yeah, newborn breathing can be terrifying if you've never seen it before. They breathe fast, then slow. Like you ever had a baby like right? Then pause for a few seconds, then breathe fast again. Like they grunt, they squeak, they snort, they sound congested while sleeping. Crazy. But this is called periodic breathing. And in most healthy newborns, it's completely normal, right? What you're watching for isn't perfection, it's recovery. If your baby pauses briefly and then resumes breathing with good color and tone, that's usually okay, right? Emergency signs are different. Blue lips or blue face, right? Nostrils flaring, ribs pulling in deeply, right, with each breath, non-stop rapid breathing, or difficulty feeding. That's when you seek immediate care. Okay, understanding this difference helps dad sleep at night instead of hovering all night in panic. Right. Number seven, skin rashes, peeling, and baby acne. Now, this was one that really, really got me, right? Baby skin goes through a lot after birth. Peeling, redness, blotchy rashes, and baby acne are common as their skin adapts to air, clothing, and products. Thank God. I was like, what the hell? Most of this clears up with gentle care. All right. Mild cleansing, minimal products, and not overbathing. All right, overdoing it makes things worse most of the time. Right. Um, Call the doctor when rashes blister, when they spread rapidly, when they come with a fever, or when the baby seems sick or inconsolable. Right. Otherwise, patience is usually the treatment. Okay. Number eight, the patterns that feel broken. Nobody prepares for this, right? Newborn sleep feels broken because adults' expectations don't match infant biology. And that's just the truth. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Newborns sleep a lot, okay? But in short stretches. Day and night are often reversed. That's something I had to learn because I'm going through that right now. I'm trying to reverse it back. But they move, they grunt, and they wake frequently. Sleeping through the night is usually months away, I'm sad to say, right? Dads play a huge role here, right? Taking night shifts, handling diaper changes, soothing, and learning a consistent wind down routine helps everyone survive this stage. Sleep doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be shared, right? Like, as of right now, I have my daughter and my wife is in the room sleep, right? Let her get some rest, fellas. Number nine, crying is communication, not failure, right? Crying is how babies communicate. It's how they communicate everything: hunger, tiredness, discomfort, overstimulation, boredom, wanting contact, or sometimes just needing to be let go of. Let me go. Responding to a newborn does not spoil them, it teaches them that the world is predictable and safe, right? Over time, you'll start to recognize patterns in your own baby's cries, but that comes from repetition, not instinct. Okay, early on, crying is information, not judgment. Okay. And number 10, growth spurts and developmental leaps. This is one of those good ones, right? I know a lot of stuff I said was kind of crazy, but like this is one of those good ones. At certain ages, babies suddenly seem hungrier, fussier, and worse sleepers. This often lines up with growth spurts or neurological leaps, right? These phases feel chaotic, but they're temporary. The best mindset is short term crazy, right? Clear your schedule if you can, lower expectations, and tag team more intentionally, right? Things usually settle within days. Uh, Knowing this ahead of time, though, keeps you from, thinking something is wrong when your baby suddenly like changes overnight, right? And the reason why I say it's a good thing is because usually after this, you'll notice your baby has grown, and that's pretty cool. Or your baby will do something like start walking or holding their arms up, like so. You'll learn. But yeah, those are the 10 things I wanted to teach y'all about today. If you found this video interesting or if you learned anything at all, make sure y'all subscribe, please, and make sure y'all comment. All right, and let me know. And if it's things that y'all want me to talk about, like if it's things that y'all haven't heard of, you like go take a deep dive into it. I read the comments, y'all. All right, so let me know. All right, it's Applewhite. Not a bad dad. And if nobody told you today, Dad, you're doing a great job. All right, peace, y'all.